Welcome back to Planet Coaster 2 and my as yet unnamed theme park and water park. So I've built the water park and now we are starting at the theme park, and we're starting with a little mythological section of the park. It's all going to be based around ancient ruins and that sort of thing. We're starting with this roller coaster, a Mack launch coaster, which is going to start with a little dark ride section after the first inversion. That's the bit I've just built, and now we're going to have a big layout around this area of the theme park. My plan for this was to have lots of little water features, lots of little airtime hills, and a few inversions as well. As we're making our way back round to the station, I thought we could squeeze another inversion in there. I also built a maintenance area and transfer track for this coaster, which I was actually very, very proud of. So there's the second rail, the storage track, and then this is where I build the maintenance area, which I was very, very happy with how this turned out. Now, unfortunately, I lost quite a lot of footage of building this section, but this is going to be the dark ride section part of the ride. You're going to launch out of this, and the idea is to have some things dropping down from the ceiling, make it like you're in a little bit of an ancient temple sort of thing. Now, as I mentioned, I did lose a lot of the footage of building that, so let's As you've seen, the ride is called Ruin, hence the Ruin Station. I'm not a massive fan of having open air stations, so I did put a little canopy over the top of the station just to add that little bit of shelter over the station itself. I then moved on to putting another flat ride into the area, this one that I decided to theme myself. That's something I really wanted, the splashdown there, which obviously I've put in. So here's the flat ride, very generic. I love the fact that all the flat rides are generic in the game, and it gives you plenty of scope to theme them all as you are. This is the first time I themed a flat ride. I'm very happy with how it turned out, actually. A little bit fiddly to get used to it to start with, but it looks brilliant when it's done. Let's head back over to the coaster now and take a look at how that turned out. There it comes through the final inversion, around the last bend and into the maintenance area that I'm actually really impressed with. I think it looks really good. Let's take a walk around the area. Now, as you can see, I've made some updates that will feature in later videos. So we go under a bridge, under the railway line of the park, which is going around the park. Again, I'll feature that. I've got a full build video of that coming up later on. So you come into this area, you've got the teacups in front of you. Again, that's just the generic one. A little bit of theming there, that's another blueprint. And we head over to that roller coaster ruin. That's like the headline attraction of this area. Quick look up at the station and the queue line there. Over the top hat. And then we head down to that big plaza area that's in the middle of the ride. One thing I really wanted to build is a coaster that interacts with the paths and goes in and out and weaves around the area. And I think I've done that quite well here. We've got paths going over it, you've got tunnels under the ride, lots of little bits of theming that to tie it all in together. This is the main plaza area where there's some food outlets and the coaster going around it and even over it there. We've got that splashdown in the middle there that we saw earlier, surrounded by ruins in that lake. One thing I like about the water in Planet Coaster 2 when you're making lakes and ponds and stuff is you've got different ones and they all give a very different feel. So this is the clear water. And I think it looks really good. Now this is one of the updates that is coming in a future video as well. You can see a drop tower in the background and that log flume. Stay tuned for that because I went and built a Viking area and then came back to that. But I lost the original footage from now, so I had to go back and re-record this bit. So the next video is the start of the Viking area, which you've seen little bits in the background like the wooden coaster. So that is on its way very soon.